Recording in
All right, hello everyone. I was enjoying that song. Okay, it is Thursday night, and I hope everyone's doing well today. Today, I thought we could do something a little fun. So I'm not sure if you kind of got the late message. I wasn't sure what I was going to do today. And then I thought, well, why don't we just show people how our energy, our attitude affects things around us. And I did this many years in corporate and before a meeting, and everyone really loved it. And someone recently said, remind me about that water thing. And I said, oh, okay, we'll do it all together. So before we get to the actual healing part of the call today, we're just gonna go through kind of an exercise and kind of an explanation of how our energy actually affects people around us. So I'm Brenda, I'm so brilliant. There's some new people joining. So we do these free calls 3 times a month. I started them before, I guess, the beginning of COVID because people couldn't come and see me. So we started these calls and they're fun and I like doing them. So we're going to continue doing them until they kind of sizzle out. They're a good way to connect. I get recharged from these calls and I get a lot of like nice emails afterwards. And I think, it's kind of a give and take, right? We're all in this together. And these healings, the actual, oh, is that Katia from the UK? You're up late if it is. Hello. Um, if when we're doing these healings together, okay, the way I can explain it is, yeah, I may start it, but this energy starts to pick up everybody's energy and it kind of turns into like a blue swirling energy. And then we want to get into the receiving mode because it's easy to give, but it's not so easy to receive. So how do you receive? A lot of us have resistance. A lot of us have some notions in the back of the some psychological reversals or some subconscious thoughts. I don't deserve to receive. So although they come for an energy healing session or something like this, they want to receive. They're not receiving that much, but they're definitely giving. So sometimes it's just breaking through the layers and layers of resistance. And that is very common. So don't be so hard on yourself if you're feeling you're not getting 100% of what you could be, because there is resistance that's stopping you from getting the full effect. You can counteract this by using affirmations, saying, today I'm going to surrender. I give permission for the healing at a physical, mental, emotional level, anywhere I need it. I may not understand where I need it, but I'm going to ask for it. So, and just kind of just then have no expectations. Because when we have expectations, well, this person said they saw color, or that person said they felt this, or, we're all different. When I first started getting into energy work, I was completely numb. I was someone who felt nothing. And over time, all that resistance and that negative thought pattern just kind of got pulled away. Then we can become very connected. But today we're going to have a pretty fun, it's just a demonstration. But I want to give you kind of a bit of background. And what I find very interesting is they're doing these experiments in school. So if you have someone in elementary school, they might be telling you about a plant experiment. So our words, our thoughts, our actions carry energy. So if I walk into a room and I'm in a good mood, that positive energy just kind of flows through the room and a lot of people take it, right? They can absorb it. Now, if someone comes in the room and they're very negative, they're also sending out energy, but it's a lower vibration, it's negative. Negative energy in kind of the paradigm we're in actually has more impact. It's not as strong, but people have negativity within them. So if someone comes in with negative energy, it kind of triggers their negative energy and they can bring down a room very quickly. And then someone comes in who's positive, they can bring up that room and kind of connect to the positive part of the people in the room. So we're kind of going like getting bothered by other people's energies. So if you had a plant, and we all heard those stories as kids, if you talk to your plants, they grow better. Well, if you talk nicely to your plant, yes, they can grow better, obviously. But if you yell at a plant, it's not going to do well because you're sending negative energy to it. So in schools, what they've been doing, they're growing rice seeds or some other thing, and they have a bunch of plants. One plant is ignored. One plant, well, they say really nice things to it. Another plant, they say mean things to it. And very interestingly, what will happen in a lot of cases, of course, the plant that everyone's going and say, I love you, grows very nice. The plant that's, they're saying you're ugly and this and that doesn't do so well. But actually, the plant that's ignored actually does the worst, actually dies very quickly. I always feel bad that they allowed a plant to die. So what they really should do when they're doing this in class, and I think I mentioned this to one of the teachers, is okay, once you have the demonstration that the plant everyone sent love to grew nicely and the other one was not doing so well and the other one died, before letting it die, why not just change it and say, okay, we're going to say nice things to all the plants, bring them together. Because what the kids will then learn is, although something's feelings were hurt or the negative energy was there, if you start talking kind and being kind and saying positive, it will start to come back. And even the one that's almost dead from being ignored will actually come back. So it's very interesting because I didn't realize a long time ago that the ignored plant would actually do worse than the one that was being told mean things. But apparently being ignored is a very hard thing for anybody. So apparently even children growing up, sure, it's great to grow up in a household where you have positive reinforcement, but being yelled at and being is better than just being completely neglected and ignored. So it's just very interesting that you can show this in a plant. I'm going to show you a quick, before we do our little demo with water, I'm just going to show you a quick screen here. And you guys, I'm sure many of you have seen it, so mainly it's just kind of a refresher. And it's an experiment that was done with water and water crystals. So the neat thing here is, what are we really made out of? Like 70% water. So if the water inside our system is not happy, what's that going to do to our bodies? So Dr. Emoto has this water experiment. You can tell over the internet. He has a book on it. The book's very thin, but he goes through it. And what he did is he had realized that water, the crystals of water, were actually being affected by what they were hearing or being surrounded by. So he played heavy metal music to water and would freeze it and then take a picture of the crystal. He talked to the water saying, you make me sick, I will kill you, mean things, negative energy going to the water. That's how it froze. Adolf Hitler, just the name, made the water freeze out a certain way. But then when you got into nicer things like thank you or sending it love and appreciation or talking about Mother Teresa, the water crystals formed two beautiful things because water responds to energy. Here we are, all water. Our food, it has water in it. What we drink has water in it. So do we want to be in a bad mood and have the water in our body reacting in a not so good way? Absolutely not. Do we want to stay in a state of happiness and appreciation and be around positive things? Absolutely. So it just brings it down because I think what I talk a lot about, our thoughts create our reality, be positive. We can change the world by being kind and compassionate. But if you really look at it at a molecular level, it really does have a lot of substance behind it. Science has proven this for a while, but it's very basic when you're looking at this and just simple. Anything that you put out causes a ripple effect, right? So if you think about it, if I'm going to walk in a room, why not send a smile instead of saying something negative? And we all know those negative people that will come into a room and say something negative. We're like, oh my goodness, you know, we don't like it. We feel it in our solar plexus. We just don't like, I got to run away from this person. You know, all that water in our body's being affected. So now think about this. You're going into a restaurant and you're going to eat the food in a restaurant. Now, if that cook in the back is in a bad mood, his thoughts, his negative energy is going into your food. So even though it looks great, does it even taste as good? And sometimes, you know, if you go to someone's house and they're having fun and the cook and whoever's cooking and they're light and having fun, and the food just tastes so delicious because their love went into it, their energy went into it, the vibration of the molecules in there are happy, and now you're eating them. So that comes into play where we can say, why not? We can say, bless our food or send positive energy into our food before we eat it, because you don't know what the chef in the back is feeling. Sometimes if you go to a restaurant that has a good vibe, generally the guys in the back are having a good time, laughing and having good. So that food's coming out, it's tasting good and everything's great. But we don't always know what's happening in the back. We don't know what's happening when you go to someone's house. And think about it as a parent. You're coming home, you're making dinner, you're rushed, you're stressed. Now you got to make dinner for your family. And if you're making it in a rush out of frustration or whatever, yeah, everyone's going to eat it because they're hungry. But they're also getting food that is not energetically great for them because that anger or frustration went into the food. So whenever I make food, at least I try to stay neutral, or I try to stay very positive, or I'll even talk to the food as I cook. Sometimes when I do a grocery shopping, I know it sounds really crazy, but after I do a grocery shopping, I'll just send out love to my entire kitchen and make all the food that we received and all the food that's already sitting there, may it be filled with love and light. And I just allow the energy to flow wherever it needs to. I don't know exactly if it's going to that potato, whatever. I just assume it's going to everything. Another trick I do is whenever I'm going to eat something that is considered not so good for me, say a cookie or something, I'll actually just talk to the cookie and say, all right, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to enjoy every part of you, but only give me the good parts of you. Everything else can just leave because I don't want all the extra stuff that's not needed. I just want to enjoy this cookie. So I talk to my food and I ask it to behave in my body. Sometimes if I'm going to, like I'm just thinking of a country where you're not supposed to drink the water, right? So I used to talk to the water and just say, okay, this water will never harm my body. Anything negative is dissipating. And I remember I accidentally drank, I know it sounds silly, but I drink water in the shower sometimes. In some places, you're not supposed to do that. I remember I was drinking the water unconsciously in the shower, and everyone says, oh, you're going to be so violently ill. Nothing happened. Because as I was doing it unconsciously, because I talked to everything, I was just talking to the water. Oh, this, thank you so much. I love the shower, all this great stuff. So it just changed the negative that's in the water into a positive. So it was good for my body. That's one way of looking at it. Some people might say, well, Brenda, your immune system's so high, you can fight anything. Yeah, that could probably be it too, but why not have maybe just a combination of all of it? All right, so today we're gonna do something that's a lot of fun. And if you have either, you can have a glass of water, you can have a cup of tea, a bottle of water, it doesn't matter. When I do this in corporate, I ask everyone to use just a bottle of water like this because we write everyone's name on it, but you're gonna have this in your house in front of you, so that doesn't matter. Use whatever it is. What we're going to do, and I'm hoping none of the energy's been flowing into it yet. So I want you to taste your water now. Just taste it and kind of get a feel of how it feels in your mouth, what it tastes like, and what it smells like, all right? So I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so everyone, I'm just assuming you're doing this. You don't have to do it. But now everyone, I'm assuming, has tasted the water. You can kind of feel it, taste it, you're smelling it. And like, I can't explain exactly how it's going to change because it is going to change. So we are all going to send love, positive energy into our water. So we're doing this actually as a collective, okay? So just grab your hands like this and kind of put it around your water and send special intentions to the water. You can say something like, I thank you for the water. Your water, this water is so beautiful that I'm about to drink. I'm asking Source to remove any negative energies and replace it with positive love, joy, and happiness. This water is going to be the best tasting water ever. It is going to be the best water for my body. When I drink this water, it is going to be like liquid love. It is going to move to parts of my body and heal it wherever it's needed. It's going to be like the highest vibrational glass of water I've ever had. Now, for some of you, even though I'm not talking anymore, you can almost feel, or I can feel the energy going into my water, but I'm also asking it to go into everybody's water right now. And this is the power of intention. This is the power of energy work. This is the power of the field. We are all connected by the quantum field. So I may have my water in front of me, but I actually have everyone's water in front of me. And you have your water in front of you, but you have everyone's water in front of you. So we are all sending positive energy into our water. And, you can imagine that beings of light are coming and taking out any negative energy, any impurities in the water, and they're replacing it with love and light. And generally, I would say if you're going to, I'm going to say it's blessing your food or changing the energy of your food. It's not the easiest to do this in a restaurant because people might look at you strangely. But what I could do in a restaurant, there's my bottle of water, there's my food. I can have my hands underneath the table so nobody knows I'm doing it. This is what I do when I'm going out with friends or family. And my hands are under the table. And as everyone's talking, I'm just sitting quietly, sending positive energy to all the food that is coming to the table, that's being made in the kitchen, that's already at our table, all the drinks. And then I just go and start saying, may all the, everyone in this entire establishment's food is just, vibrating at its highest potential, all negative energies leaving. Is you can do it just for yourself, you can do it just for your table, you can include everyone because it is the power of intention, right? So I would usually say 30 seconds is a little too little, I would say, but I'd say a minute to 2 minutes. You can almost feel the energy starting to slow down. And that's usually an indication that they have changed the water to a beautiful drink that's ready for us to sip. I'm just going to give it, I don't know, it's slowed down, now it's starting up again. So I don't know if anyone's feeling it, like if all of a sudden it's just like roared up again. So maybe someone's news come in and their water's just being added, so we're working on their water. Once this is done, I want you to take another sip. And when you take another sip, just be mindful how it feels, how it smells, and how it tastes. And when you drink it with your right hand. If you're left-handed, drink with your left hand. I don't know. I was told drink with your right hand, but it doesn't make sense if you're left-handed. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, let's do it. So now just grab whatever hand you're comfortable with. Say thank you. May that water flow where it needs to flow. Okay, so whenever I do this, for me, the water changes to like a very smooth feeling. It's almost coating my body. The smell that came out from the tap is no longer there, and it just feels and tastes better. I'm just wondering if anyone noticed the difference. But you can do this. It doesn't have to be me doing it. Anybody can do this. This is how you can, if you are not such a good mood before you're cooking, before you serve it to your children, send positive energy. I made this food not in such good energy. I'm calm now, and I want to just get rid of any negative energy and allow it to be filled with love and light before I serve it to my family. I know we're rushing and it's hard to stop, or kids if you're teenagers, they want to eat right away. But again, as they're eating, you can hold it underneath the table and just bless their food or send positive energy. Yeah. Yeah, it's velvety, right? And it just feels so. This is, I would call it, like, some people sell Reiki water. They'll say, oh, I Reiki my water. Yeah, people buy it. You can just do it yourself. But I think it's cute that there's actually a company that will Reiki the water for you. It's like, I just want to drink all of it. Now, when I was doing that, I did it to my entire, so now my tea's better, this bottle of water is better. It's all been Reiki. So a lot of the fresh, sometimes it's the temperature can change, right? It can get colder, yeah. And I don't know how that is. Sometimes it gets warmer, sometimes it gets colder, but whatever needs to be done for your particular water to get it to be the best for your body was done. So this water is now beautiful. It's healing as you're drinking it. So you can do this. We did it as a collective, so it was pretty magnified for sure. But you can do this if you have kids and you do it together. I remember doing it in corporate, and we did it before a meeting, and I was like, wow, how'd that work? It's like magic. It's not magic. It's because we're affected by energy. We affect energy. So, I know I talk a lot about how magnificent beings we are, because we are. We're all tapped into divinity. We all have this beautiful connection, right? I'll give you an example. Anyone on this call can learn to play the piano. Anyone can learn to play. I learned to play the piano. I have no natural talent. I worked my butt off, and I did up to grade 6. But was I great? I was okay. I don't have a natural ability, but I can learn. So anyone, natural ability or not, for energy work, you still can allow to bring in this energy. You might not become an energy practitioner, that's fine, but you have the power, you have the connection to do these simple things for you, for your family, and then to know everything you say, you do, your actions, your vibration affect the people around you, because you are very powerful. You're connected, and nobody can take away that from you, right? So when we're doing energy work, we're not making you better than you are. You're already a magnificent being. What we're doing is we're pulling out the resistance, the darkness within all of us, replacing it with love and light, so you feel more connected, feel more empowered to use these abilities that you innately have. So we all have them. All right. So enjoy your water throughout the call today. And so a lot of people had different experiences, right? So hot, colder, and it does taste different, right? It's neat. So if anyone has any questions, other than that, I think we're going to go right into the meditation today. Okay. Oh. I used to not serve bottled water in my office. I used to just give clients water from my house. And because I heard a story of a bad practitioner who was giving bad things in people's water, I started moving to bottles. And not a lot of people like me giving them bottles, right? But it's kind of a safer thing, just to make sure they know they're getting a bottle. But I do keep the bottles in my office. So as I'm doing energy work, and as all those bottles are being infused by love and light. So my kids, they always say, Mom, these water bottles taste so good. So they're always picking them and taking them instead of the ones upstairs that I don't always do. And then I go and I have no more water bottles downstairs because they've taken them all. But now what I've been doing is every time I get water bottles, I just send love to the entire package, whether it's upstairs or downstairs, just so when I know my kids are, there's apparently a lot of bad stuff in these things, right? But there doesn't have to be. We can transmute them into love and light. So it's not such a bad water bottle. I guess there's still a plastic issue. I get it and stuff like that, but you can make the best of anything that you're doing it. You're doing. Okay. Yeah. So there's no questions. Did you guys like that? Something different, right? It was a little bit of fun. Okay. And one more thing, since before we go, it's just been on my mind. So, because there's I don't like to send out too many emails. If you're sick of emails, just let me know, Brenda. I only want these type of emails. I don't want this, and I can separate groups of what you want, what you don't want. Another thing that kind of confused a bit of people, although I'm not running an October retreat, for the farmhouse. I'm not going to be doing a retreat in October or November because the weather went cold and I didn't really want to be out there in the cold. Then the weather got warm, whatever. Our weather's kind of fluctuating. But you still have the option, if you want to do a session out at the farmhouse instead, you can either book a session out there, and then if you're there, you can use the labyrinth. I can take you on a tour and let you see what the place is all like. It's a kind of a magical, high energy place. There's some people that come, I've had some clients come and they felt dizzy right away and needed to lay down. That is because the land there is very high vibrational. When I leave there, my heart sinks because I love being there. The house, the energy in my Oakville house is quite lovely as well. But out there is just kind of almost like a magical place. So you can always come out to either visit the property if you want to do the labyrinth walk. And if you want to know more about the labyrinth, let me know. It's got a life of its own and it really is very healing. Or if you want to have a session, like some people bring 3 people, they come for sessions. While one person's getting a session, they're out using the grounds. So they can either hang out in the tea house, use the labyrinth all on their own. There's nothing that I'm doing that is more, I'm not doing something more formal because those retreats take a lot of energy. By the end of the day, I'm just white because there's just so much energy transfer. So I'll reschedule some for spring and fall. So if you missed the part, someone said, "Oh, you're not doing it," it doesn't mean you can't come out there. I'm in and out. It's only an hour away from Oakville, so I'm there a lot and back. Sometimes I go there for a few hours, take care of our pigeons, come back, or do something. So we can always set something up if you want to come out, and I'll make sure I'm there. And you can enjoy a few hours or more there. Okay, great. All right. Okay. Yeah, it is nice. Thank you, Samara. It is a very nice place, right? It's lovely. And in fall, it's been really nice. And the labyrinth has its life of its own. It's really cool. And the girl who told me to build the labyrinth is actually in Europe. So I told her she needs to come out and walk this labyrinth because it was because of her that we created it. And she said she'll come in spring because she's not around. But yeah, neat. Okay, everyone. So let's get into the healing. So how does this work? Okay, you're kind of already in that receiving mode, but you can say a special request to whoever you believe in. You can call it God, source, angels, the light. When we give permission, the energy comes in stronger. And the reason is the light beings that love us so respect our free will. The dark energy on this planet does not respect our free will, so it's at us 24/7, whereas the light's waiting for us to say, hey, come in and help me. So I wake up every morning and I say, please help me in everything I need today. And, sometimes we go through big purges that don't feel comfortable and you feel like you're alone. You're never alone. The beings of light are supporting you as you're releasing. So just allow that uncomfortable feeling to come through. Because it is something that's stuck in your field that needs to come up and it needs to release. So don't repress those memories, those feelings that are icky. And if something comes up during the healing and it feels gross, but you don't know what it's from, you don't have to know what it's from, okay? So what you can say is, I'm getting this feeling that I've had all my life. I don't like it. I know I'm releasing something. I don't know what it is. I don't have to know what it is because the little Brenda may not know, but I am allowing my higher self, I'm allowing the beings of light to take care of it for me, take it out of my field and transmute it to love and light. And just let them do the work because they're there to help us. Okay. So some of you might feel a bit of anxiety as we're starting, and that might be a few minutes of uncomfortable as you're letting go. And then that love is going to come through and just, kind of comfort you and fill you up. And you're going to come back, feel leveled out again. Yeah, there's some people, someone was just saying that they've gone through a difficult purge. A lot of people have been going through some pretty hard stuff, me included. I can't even talk about mine. Mine was phenomenal, but wow, very difficult. And I do this and I know how difficult it can be. So when we are purging from our physical, emotional, mental bodies, it doesn't always feel good. But know that you're not alone and that it's a process humanity has to go through. We created this mess on earth and we need to correct it. So it is a personal ascension process as we start to remove the darkness from with us and replace more love and light. It has to be done safely and systematically. And then it's also a human consciousness is being done at that level. It's also being done with planet Earth. So as she's healing, we're healing. As we're healing, it's kind of we're going bouncing back and forth. So just enjoy the journey. And I know it's like this for a lot of us. And you know what? I can't say the healing journey is always fun, but I'm going to say when we're on the other side of it, you look back, it's like, wow, I made it through that. Amazing. I never want to do that one again, but I'm here and I feel great. And then, 6 months later, you might have another one. And if someone told me that I had to repeat the last 13 years of my life, I couldn't do it. But if I took it step by step and went through it, it wasn't that bad. Now I'm here, thankful to be here, but I couldn't do it like that. But they're only going to give you what you can handle at that time, right? So they're not going to give you anything too big. So whatever they're giving you is something you can handle. So breathe through it, do what you need, listen to a meditation, go for a walk, talk to a friend, pray, meditate, whatever it is, however you connect, and know that you are loved and being supported through it. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to play some music. I'm just going to get it ready here. 1 second. And for those of you who are new on the call, all you're going to do is just relax. So you can sit down, you can stand up. I don't know if standing up is good, but some people feel they need to stand up because the energy is very strong sometimes, and that's okay. Sometimes I feel I want to stand up. So sit down, lay down, stand up, whatever it is, and just go into a state of allowance. I would generally say close your eyes, but you don't have to. Just do what you're comfortable with. Bring a blanket beside you because sometimes we can get waves of cold energy or cold breeze and then warm. And drink lots of water if you need to. And at the end, I'll use my singing bowl, and that's just to help push out any negative energy that's no longer needed. And I'm going to set the intention that we have a very good sleep after this. And we are also going to be sending out all this beautiful energy to ourselves, to people in your households, to pets in your households, and to all of humanity in planet Earth, and anyone who needs it can have it available to them. We can't force it, obviously, but we can give them the energy so their higher self says, yes, we'll take that. And it may help some people who are in desperate need tonight sleep more peacefully. And we're all in this together, so it's quite beautiful. Okay. All right, I'm going to just share my screen so you can hear the music better, and we'll begin. Okay, here we go. I'm assuming the music's at a good level, and if it's not, you want me to up it, just let me know. A little bit more water in there. Okay, here we go, everyone.
Seria
Okay, so although the energy session's done, that energy is going to stay with you for the next 4 or 5 days. It's going to continue to working on releasing blocks, wherever it needs to work in the physical, emotional, mental level. Drink lots of water and just stay in a state of allowing. Some people feel really light immediately after. Some people it takes a few days. Some people spend the night burping. Some people sleep peacefully. We're all very different on how we kind of heal and our own issues. Sometimes it's different for even someone who's had a relaxing time and then all of a sudden there's not. That's just something, maybe there's a extra block that's being broken up. So just be with it. Drink lots of water and just go into that state allowing, saying, okay, I may not understand this, but I'm allowing the healing to continue. I think that's what I want to say. Drink lots of water. If you have any questions and you want to send me an email, that's fine. Go right ahead. I'm usually pretty decent in responding. Or if you want to do a quick chat, that works as well. I'm going to drink some more water. So keep that water with you. It's really neat water, right? You can always do it to yourself, for yourself, once again. It's a lot of fun. You can show your kids or whoever or your friends and try it, and people really do notice a difference. Okay, everyone, I'll stay on here for a minute or so, see if anyone has any questions. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend that's coming up. And yeah, it's a lovely session. So thanks for being here with us. And I think the next one is coming. Obviously, it's coming. I'm not sure what day. I'm kind of out of it right now. But you'll get a replay if you missed this, or in fact, you've seen it, or maybe you fell asleep or left while the session was happening. The replay is on YouTube, so you can always just rewatch it. And the neat thing is, two more things for the people who are still online here. When you're watching a replay, how does this work? It continues to work. It'll work on your next layer or your next layer. It's because there's no time or space when you're dealing with a quantum field. So you can rewatch them. They do work over and over. Just getting the next layer out, because once a layer is gone, it's gone, right? So you're just dealing with the next one. And somebody was mentioning there's a lot of EMF around, and they were wondering if I could send anything their way. There is actually, it's funny, I used to do newsletters. So if you go, I'm going to give you the website here. Actually, I can just put it also in the email, but if you go on my where is it? I'm just trying to think. Give me a sec. If you go on my website and you go into newsletters, volume 2, August 2019, on the second page, there's something called Indigo Grabo or Magical Merlinite, and I give kind of a talk about it. Wearing that on you, putting it around your house, if you're sensitive to EMF, can work. It's really a very powerful mineral that comes from Madagascar. Also, I think they do drill it in Brazil as well. If you want, I can always buy you some, and you can pick it up for me, pieces. What I do is I have this Indigo Grabo. I have it all over my house. I have it in my kids' rooms, my rooms. I used to wear one around my neck, but what I do is when I'm out, I just keep it in my purse now, or wherever it's on me. And it's a really cool video. I'm going to see if I can get this. If you're interested in learning about this mineral, it's in the newsletter. There's a write-up about this mineral and how it works to break down the bad effects of EMF. But there's a pretty cool, I think it's something there. He's kind of dry sounding, but if you like to learn about rocks and minerals, this guy kind of explains it. But it's in that newsletter, and you can always, and if you don't remember, I'll put the link, or maybe I'll republish it, and you guys can read about it. But it's a very powerful mineral that helps with EMF not only does it neutralize, it takes the decomposing energy of EMF, takes it, neutralizes it, but then spins it into positive energy. So just think like your whole house will shift. So you can put it on your cell phones when you're sleeping. Actually, I'll just grab some to show you what it looks like. I think I have some here. This is I'm not sure where it all is. This is what it looks like in polished form, but I also have a lot of rough. I think it's at the farmhouse. I have a lot, but it's all over my floor. But it has a purple thing in it. You'll see it. So what it does is actually takes is the decomposing energy of EMF, the Wi-Fi, stuff like that, changes it into positive energy. So when this is in your hand or around you, just makes everything feel lighter. So when you're sleeping at night, you just let it sit on your cell phone so your phone's not emitting anything bad. Some people put it in their water and drink it. There's so many things you can do with it. And it's a recharging one, so you don't have to clean it. And it cleans other crystals. So it's really cool. If you're interested in crystals, this is a really neat one. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna let you go now because I can start talking. I'll be talking all night. So have a peaceful night, happy Thanksgiving, and we will see you soon. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.